very lucky, very fortunate to be part of this university. If you think about all the great minds, all the college football coaches there are out there, especially defensively wise nowadays, there's a lot of people who could be standing here in front of you, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity that Coach Rule and Mr. Alberts gave to me and my family, and want to do things right and want to get this thing back on the right track. So with that, any questions?
What are your impressions of the Big Ten and how your defense would fit?
Well, we got a chance to play Purdue when I was at Syracuse, and now that's they were more of the passing offense right there, but still in terms of attitude-wise, they were a physical team, big team. Kind of established their will at the line of scrimmage, and for us it was just a different game. But I think nowadays, Coach Rule, one of the things he did was he was big on studies. He's a big football guy, and one of the things he sent me was the personnel groupings and stuff in the Big Ten last year, and it's surprising to see that 11 personnel was the top amongst, I think, everyone but one team. So you get that with, obviously, in the bowl games, you got a chance to see Syracuse against Minnesota. You saw Illinois versus Mississippi State. So really, it's a deal that we're going to have to account for, and really our personnel comes into play. I got to be able to put our guys in the best position to make plays. Well, I grew up in it. The guy who kind of really came up and really redefined the 3-3-5, Rocky Long, and he's the one who recruited me to UCLA, and then he gave me a chance at the University of New Mexico, coaching linebackers there in 2007, and then when I went to San Diego State, all those times we were running the 3-3-5. So it's something I grew up in. I played in it and then coached in it my whole time. And really, when you're studying football, the 3-3-5 is just personnel. I mean, personnel-wise, you're lining up with 3 D linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 DBs. But football-wise, that's all that really nickel is. Nickel is 4-2-5. I mean, we go 3-3-5, but we line up in a ton of different fronts and all that kind of stuff. So really, it's just the 3-3-5 is more personnel-based. So.
How does that 3-5 defense allow you to look at multiple guys in how does it broaden your back?
Yeah, no, good question, Greg. The biggest thing there is I think that 3-3-5, when you start off with that base, it allows you to recruit and then really be flexible with what you have. I know that's a starting point, but then let's say you have a great year and you have a ton of defensive linemen. Well, now you went from being a 3-3-5 to maybe a 4-2-5. Maybe you're down on D linemen and you have more backers. Well, then it's a 3-3-5. So it gives you a chance to go out and recruit. And the great thing about Coach Rule is he is really, really big on recruiting the big guys up front. So we're going to recruit our tail up there and then kind of adjust the defense to the personnel that we have.
Jump-started recruiting with this class, this freshman class, junior college player, guys out of the portal, and that in year one, you'll have a lot of your guys here. How much were you able to look for pieces that will fit the scheme you want to run in that short period of time and signing those players?
Mitch, good to see you, man. Good to see you. The crazy thing about that is kind of like I said. I think if you get stuck just recruiting, okay, 3-3-5, I only get this defensive lineman for this, I get this nose tackle for this, I get this for that, I think then you're stuck. I think the biggest thing, especially with Coach Rule's background, is you take athletes, you take football players, and good coaches kind of adjust the scheme around them. And that's been the way it was since when I came in there. This 3-3-5 was always at places where maybe you didn't get as many defensive linemen, so you saw more 3-3 stuff. Well, some years when you had better D linemen, you saw more 4-down stuff, So it's always about how does the scheme fit the players versus recruiting specific players to fit the scheme.
Is it possible you wouldn't even run a 3-3-5?
Yeah, of course. Anything's possible. Anything to win, man. 3-3-5. If we got to line up with 5 D linemen and 1 linebacker, whatever, that's the great thing. For me, it's about concepts. You teach a concept, And whether you have 3 D linemen and 3 linebackers doing it, or whether you have 5 D linemen and 1 linebacker doing it, it's very conceptual.
Coach Steve Mark with Inside Nebraska at the rover position
Yeah.
at Syracuse. Can you just talk a little bit about that and if you're going to use some part of that here?
Yeah, it'll be now again. I think Sat said it best. We haven't got a chance to feel the guys around here yet. You know, you watch the tape and you see where guys were and what they were doing last year, but I haven't got a chance to feel them. So you don't know exactly how that, if it's going to be played the same, if it's going to be like more traditional old school where that guy was more in the center of the defense, or whether that guy's more on the perimeter of the defense. We don't know yet, but it'll be very similar to what we've done and what's being done with all those same guys from the Rocky Long Tree. Yeah.
Would you characterize it as a difficult decision for you to take this job, and why? I mean, why did you take this job?
You know, again, whenever you're talking about a situation where you're in a good place. I mean, I was in a good place with Syracuse and Coach Babers, and those young men over there played their butts off for me in the university. And when an opportunity presents itself like this, I think it comes down to a lot of factors. You know, me and my family talking, the relationship with Coach Rule going back to when I was a player and he was coming in to be a GA. And then, again, I said this once before, but you know, I think first impressions are really big. And when I was in middle school and high school, that was kind of like the birth of me understanding what college football was and playing football. And that's you know, you look at me in middle school, and I graduated in 96, 97 from high school. That was Nebraska, right? That's Nebraska. You looked up and you saw Nebraska, Nebraska, Nebraska. So you add in all that stuff and then just sitting around talking about it with the family, and I thought it was something that you could not pass it up.
What are your first impressions of this place, being in the stadium every day, being in the city? What are your first impressions?
You see why it's different. I mean, from the people, from you walk in and you see the national championship trophies, you see the Heisman. I mean, you know, you walk around, you see why this place has been special and can be special. You know, there's no doubt there, and it only adds to the fact that Coach Rule and his plan has worked, the things he believes in, the staff he's put together. I think again, it's very easy when you walk around here and you see and you feel it. It's something special.
How much of the connection were you able to form with Coach Rule in that short time that you guys were together in Los Angeles and did that relationship? Did you maintain that relationship over these last 20 years?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. So I was going out, he was coming in, and I didn't get a chance to play pro ball. I wasn't good enough. All right, so for that next year while he was a GA, I was around the program finishing up my schooling and all that stuff. And then it was always one of those things where you saw a guy having success, and then it's a text message, or you run into him when I was at San Diego State, New Mexico. You run into them at, you know, when they're at Temple and all that stuff. You run to them on the road and all this kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that was always right there. Hey, coach, you know, how you doing, man? Good job, saw you. Da, da, da. And then when he got this job, it was a text message just like that, and then it became a phone call, then it became an interview, and then it became a hey, let's do this thing. So.
How much does Rule get involved with your defense? How much do you anticipate him being involved with Rule?
Very. I mean, a football guy's a football guy, and I thought it was really good being around some coaches. They said be the dumbest one in the room. You know, you want to be in a room where you're the dumbest guy, because then that's all you're doing is growing. You know, and so when you get to listen to these guys and listen to them talk football, just football, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, he's in there, he's talking schemes, he's talking mostly, again, you see it from the other side of the ball. You know what I mean? You see what the offense was thinking, what he would have done, how he would have attacked. And so then it helps you find answers. It helps you see, like, okay, well, if I move this guy here, you were thinking this one time, but now you're thinking this, and I can get you. So I think it's really important that he's involved in, and like I said, he loves ball. You know, that's a good thing about Sat, these other guys, is when they're not doing anything naturally, you see them around ball, watching ball. You know what I mean? So that's really cool, and again, it'll make me better.
You talked about kind of getting those big guys in recruiting. What have you seen from Coach Knight and what's in there?
Oh man, he's funny. He's fun. Listen, I wouldn't want to do something wrong. I tell you that. He gets after it. He's fiery. But again, you talk about knowledge. A guy who's played it at the highest level you can on the planet. really good communicator. He knows what he wants to do, you know, so it's been fun being around him up to this point. And, you know, once we get the recruiting done and get a chance to get off the road and all get in the room and whoever the last additions to the staff, once we can all be together and really talk football and get into it, then I don't doubt that it'll be a good experience for everybody.
Coach Sean Callahan with us online.
Sure.
How much have you been able to study the roster, the
Yeah.
players you inherit? I mean, they finished the year
Yep.
on a strong note. A lot of those guys have turned on. What do you know about what you have to work with that's already here?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they've been sprinkling in because when I got here, they were taking finals and, you know, in that discretionary week. So I got a chance to see a lot of the guys stepping in there, and then any chance we get, we go back and watch just to see, you know, body types, how they move, and all that kind of stuff, just on film. And you know, it's funny. You talk about coaching change, and you go into a room and you think, okay, when you watch the film, you say, yeah, you know, these guys aren't very good, da 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 da. You know, well, when you watch the guys, they play their butts off, you know, and you do have some talent there. I think it was just a matter of, for me, making sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody knows what they're playing for, because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that helped us at our last school, at my last school, was when we all saw things the same way, we all knew what we were fighting for. It made us more difficult to stop. And so you have talent here. I mean, I like the guys up front. I mean, I like Ty Robb. I remember him from when I was at Arizona State, recruiting him. Got a chance to see Nash run around. I mean, again, Luke. You see, I like some of the athleticism of the DBs, you know. But again, it comes back to seeing them and feeling them in person, and then getting a chance to put them in the best spots where they can just go play versus thinking all the time.
Satterfield identified on the offensive side of the ball, the receiver position is one as an area of need. Do you see anything on the defensive side where you say, okay, we need bodies there, we need more talent there?
I would say, I mean, you ask a coach that, you're always gonna hear D-line. You always want more D linemen, okay? And then I think, you know, you want to see, I really want to get a chance to see and be around the guys at linebacker. I want to see that room completely. You know, I know we've made some nice additions to it, but getting a chance, I know when I get a chance to see Luke, and I saw him running around, I got a chance to meet him, really excited about what he does. Nick, and I know he got injured there towards the end of the year, but really interested to see how that linebacker room plays out. You know, and that'll be a big thing about in terms of being able to put guys in the right positions and what kind of personnel groupings you put together. I think that room right there is going to be key to what we do in the fall.
As a coordinator, do you focus on a position and then you've got will have all three levels?
Mm-hmm.
Do you spend more of your time with linebackers, super linebacker, or you just walk around?
No, I usually spend my time. I was with the linebackers, and then I went with the secondary for a big chunk of my career, and then went back at Syracuse to linebacker. So once everyone is hired and we get a chance to see where you know I can be daily. I mean, I like to walk around so I can hear and feel everybody, all the position groups and the coach interactions and stuff. But I'll be with the position group mainly, and then walk around. But we need to get everybody in the room first.
Marcus, you've got a young staff on the offensive side, 30s and 20s.
Yeah.
Likely where it all ends up for you. What do you expect that vibe to be like? What's the pluses and minuses of having that much youth?
Well, you got a lot of energy. That's for sure. Have you guys met Coop yet? That dude is like a walking Red Bull advertisement right there, man. This dude has a lot of energy. I love it. T Knight. I mean, he's talking. You know, some of the other guys there that we got to announce. I mean, a lot of energy. First thing you see and you feel is the energy, and I think, you know, I don't see anything as a detriment. It's all on me to make sure that we all see things the same way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all see things the same way. So when we go out there and we teach and we coach, everybody's on the same page. I think that's the most important thing. You know, and until we're all in that room, until we all get together and really grind things out, I'm excited about not only the youth and the energy, but the knowledge. Again, these are football guys. These are guys that, You know, you talk to Coop, and he's talking about game planning and defending Joe Burrow and Tom Brady and Drew Brees, you know, stuff like that. Then you go to T. Knight, and he's talking about going up against Trent Williams and all these other guys, you know, in the league and stuff like that. So you talk about the knowledge in the room, and it's gonna be exciting.
Coach, you just got,
Andy, yeah,
yeah,
dude.
just, you've been sticking around a whole bunch of different things, but if you could sum up, like, if people ask you, what's the Tony White defense, what are they known for? What do you want to be known for? And what do you want to bring here to Nebraska?
I think I would say the passion. You want to see a group of guys out there that when they play, they don't look at the score. They have fun watching those young men play their butts off, and everything will take care of itself. You know, and there's a lot of pieces that go into that, but when they take the field, you're going to know that they're playing for Nebraska. Okay, they're part of a tradition that's really unlike any other in the country. Okay, that I got to make sure I do right. All right, but that you don't have to look up at the score. That when that defense runs out there, you're gonna sit up in your seats. You're gonna grab your popcorn. You're gonna pay attention because those boys are gonna play. Period.
Coach, the linebacker you mentioned, Eric Fields, the 2023 linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about him? What did the staff, what is he bring to the team?
Yeah, speed. I mean, you see his track times. He's very explosive, a lot of speed. And again, he's kind of a chess piece there where you say, where does he actually fit? Is he a linebacker? Is he that rover position? Is he an edge coming off the edge? I mean, you don't truly know until they get here. But again, the first thing that jumps off at you is he's got a lot of speed, and you don't realize when he walks up on you how big he is. You know, he's a tall guy. He can be 225, 230, and if he can still run that way, then you got a piece to mess around with.
Your strong recruiting background. What's your early impression of these guys on the staff and how they recruited in this first month? I know there's a lot to take on.
Yeah, again, you know Coach Rule, if you don't recruit, you ain't here. I mean, that's number one. I mean, that's the great thing about being with these guys is that they understand. If you got the guys here, you have a chance. You know, so everything is built up around recruiting and those relationships and bringing the pieces here so that way we can get them and develop them. You know, but again, that's one of the things first and foremost. If you can't recruit and you don't want to recruit, then you ain't gonna be here. That's the way it goes.
Describe in detail your plans for the black shirt tradition, including what day each year you'll hand them out and how many you'll hand out.
Why? I knew this. I had a paragraph on the black shirt deal ready to go, but no. The most important thing I can do with that tradition is find out knowledge. Right? I gotta talk to people who have instilled it, who have lived it, who have done it the right way. I've heard many different ways that they've done it. You know, bringing old guys back, taking it away, doing it, waiting for a couple games, doing it in fall camp or spring. I've heard a lot of different things already. And the worst thing I can do is sit up here and say, I know I'm going to do it this way. No, that's something you don't mess around with, because again, I think that's one of the greatest kind of traditions you have in college football, especially defensively wise. You talk the black shirts again, like as a kid running around, you talked about putting on a black shirt and reenacting that you were part of the defense. You know what I mean? So I want to do it right. I gotta talk to people who have done it and kind of figure out what the best way to do it, and then I'll let you know. Okay. Appreciate everybody. Thank you.